Hello and welcome to this review for Studio Series 107 Predacon Scorponok. So from the Transformers series. And this is specifically from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Scorponok did not have an he didn't have an ultimate. He didn't have a robot mode in the movie. Or we never saw it, like we did with Airazor. And this was what they considered Predacons. Now, they released this guy for the Studio Series line. It's not the correct colors. There might be one with better colors coming out eventually. I believe there's listings for it. So this is basically the interpretation of what it would look like if he had, I'll get the box out of the way, if he had an actual robot mode. And I'll just spare you if you want a close review right away. And it's not a good toy. I do not recommend this at all. The QC is bad. The transformation is amateurish. I really don't feel like you're getting for your value, and also it's not a good-looking Scorpion mode anyway, which should be the main focus of this whole thing. And there's lots of issues with it, so we'll go over it. First, you can see there's major QC for me. Mine's missing a foot, and instead of just honestly for me, it's like a blessing in disguise, because then I can just return it to the store and say that this is a defective product, I don't want it, and I don't want it in my collection. Instead, I have another Scorponok that I think works better, at least value-wise. So I'm going to compare it to this guy, who was released in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee line. He was a Target exclusive, Tours exclusive in Canada, basically the same thing. It's a made-up robot mode for Scorpion mode, which is the only thing we saw in the movie. But I think he gives us a bit more. We'll go through this guy, and then I'll show you the comparison. So, and no, my judgment is not because my guy's missing a foot. If I would have liked it, I would have waited to have the full figure to do a good review. But since I don't like the figure, I don't need to add it to my collection. So I'm just doing this review now, showing you guys why I'm not a big fan of it, and then we could all move on. So, QC-wise, so the foot, I don't believe it's a problem with the manufacturing, since the box is open, right? I believe that at any step in the process, something could have gotten out at any point, and out of the box it goes, because it's all on the ball joints. Okay, so one thing I find off is, and you can see it here, is the way he's holding his weapon. So the weapon is his claw hands here can't really hold anything, which is too bad. I mean, I don't know why they could have had it done here. And in any case, so what you do is you have here his stinger, and you just peg it in. Now the thing that's weird is that not only does it look off, but also it can't really go straight, and you can't turn it the other way. So all you have is the curvature that it gives you, which is this way, which can't do much, I guess, maybe as a whip kind of weapon. I guess that would be the main thing. Now, when it doesn't work for me, the QC is bad in this specific part. I don't know if you could see it, but it's hard to see. The peg here is misaligned, so it just comes off. That's it. I didn't force it. It's just not aligned properly. So this way it'll be fine, because that's the proper rotation. But as soon as there's a little bit of resistance, it just falls off. So I'm going to take it out of the way. Okay, I'm going to remove it so we can move on with the toy. A lot of this is just moving on. I just want to get this done to show you what it is. I am really not a fan of this toy. Okay, let's focus on him. We good? There you go, better. Okay, so the joints are nice and tight. At least that's there. I mean, how tight was it? This fell off. Who knows? But that's that. When comparing to this guy, the main bit of articulation, I'm going to take this out of the way. The main bit of articulation that you have that's very different is when it comes to the feet and the hands. These are fully articulated, at least at the wrist, right? Because due to the ball joint, same for the foot. There is no feet or hand articulation here. Everything that there is, while there is a swivel and there is a double jointed elbow bend, with this being a universal ball joint, like, the old Beast War toys, it actually has a full articulation anyways. So in terms of articulation, due to this being all ball joints, this might look better. in terms of with the way the articulation looks. You don't have the big ball joints in the way. But in terms of like functionality, they serve essentially the same purpose. Also, you'll notice that of course, it's going to happen quite a bit. He doesn't have the same issue. The Scorponok version doesn't have the same issue with the Stinger because he can actually hold it. And the Stinger just bends in every direction that you may want it to. So that's another pro in his column. The main issue is just that there's lack of articulation, and if you don't like the face sculpt. However, at least he has a robot head sculpt. He does not. If you're wondering, this is the exact same head that you get in the Scorpion. It's just to transform it, it's like this. Watch out, and boom, now he's transformed into his Scorpion head. That's really what it is. This guy actually does have a Scorpion head, and to have it, it's simple too. At least it's its own thing. And there's a Scorpion head. We will get into the transformations too. Before we do that, I just want to tell you that the one thing I find off about this guy is the plastic. I'm really not a fan of how his plastic feels. It actually feels a lot like this, which does have that cheaper feel too. Compared to, let's say, it feels a bit more porous and light. Like I'd say compared to Bumblebee, who feels more solid. So those are all reasons. So I mean, we'll do a bit comparisons to robot modes. I'll also bring in Shatter, just because I wanted to bring one from a few years back. And I feel you're getting way more value with these toys than this one. Not only do these feel more solid, they actually have like some nice complex transformations, while this guy does not. Which is a real pity, because I mean, they could have done, that's why I bring him up, just like him, right? Okay, give him something that's slightly unique, right? Could have. I mean, you'll see it. They end up looking similar enough. So, and one that this guy has, not only does he have, not only is he much cheaper, he's 2/3 the cost, I believe, but he also comes with a little Scorpion partner here. I mean, this turned into a review for the Buzzworthy version, but and he has this little guy who becomes its own target master, which is exclusive to this mold, to this release. So, I mean, there's clearly value here. Now we're going to transform this guy, and transformation, which is not great, to give us a Scorpion that's also not great. So, in any case, like I said, to transform the head, just tilt it up. Now, these hands are visible in Scorpion mode. They end up just going over here to create the pincer. And to do that, we're going to unclip the chest so that it liberates. This is going to be, by doing that, that's the main transformation part of it, because you could extend out the arms. We are going to... it's usually very simple. There you go, perfect. But when I have the camera in the way, it just takes on this whole new level of difficulty. So the pincers are transformed, which once again, not great, because you have this, it's protruding. It doesn't look that great as a Scorpion. But we'll see it more when we finish it. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to take this and we're going to flip it inside, like an accordion style, like so. See that? Perfect. And then we are going to extend the legs out. Extend the legs out. We are going to rotate this part, and we're going to close it. Same on the other side. We're going to rotate and close it. And yes, there is a peg. So it's at least, tight. And one thing I do appreciate is that you have this other peg here, whole peg, right? So that you have the perfect orientation for the Scorpion mode. Even though, yeah, the legs just become the Scorpion legs, and the hands become the Scorpion hands. So not phenomenal. Yeah, and then you can close this up. Good. Now, so I was saying the way that they show you in the instructions, you can do it as you wish, but it ends up looking a bit like this, which I find off. Now, you're going to take these legs, turn to the side. You're going to bring this, let's see, now this goes, yeah, I always mess it up. Just bring this one notch down. Okay, so that's basically the Scorpion mode. Yeah, that's right. And yes, of course, he is missing something quite important. using Stinger, which you just bring this up, plug it into his back, and that's the Scorpion mode. And like I said, not like for something that has very little transformation involved, I really think that they messed it up, especially the front, which is the most important, right? The pincers, they do not look good. It doesn't look like it's like one whole cohesive mode. Like it's the only part that actually is unique to the robot, basically, right? The extra hands. And that's the one part they seem to not know where to go, so it just ends up being this weird thing. It's really weird. It feels like it's being done by a different team than the usual guys. I don't know what's going on with this guy. And especially the fact that you are paying like the same price as this Bumblebee, right? So it's like in Canadian dollars, this is like $36. And I feel you get very little for that. So we'll compare it to this guy here, who, yes, also very simple transformation. But I mean, at least he has a different head, like I said. So this, there you go. He has his pincers, which, like, as you can see, feel more like cohesive, right? Do you see what I'm getting at? Right? Yeah. And then, yeah, the legs just fold onto themselves. Like so. I should have connected them earlier. And that's it. So yes, very simple toy. This one feels slightly more complex, but I don't see what, you're getting out of it. And I mean, these don't articulate. These kind of, no, this doesn't. This just goes this way. So no, in any case, they don't articulate much either. Now we're going to bring this in. There we go, 2 Scorpions. And I even feel, might be wrong about this because I don't remember I believe this face is more accurate. The fact that this kind of shaped the Scorpion, that it was less skeletal. And that's at least what I remember, a bit more wide in the front. Maybe wrong. And of course, with this guy you also get this little guy, which I think is great because when we get Primal here, I'm going to bring this up. I mean, the scene I remember the most is, with Primal just like squishing a Scorpion. The fact that it comes with a smaller one, you can recreate that scene that he can like squish this little guy. Now, in terms of scale, at first I thought it was maybe off. It should be bigger, but I'm remembering the scene where Primal gets like hurt. Like it's from the back that it comes to get him, and it feels like the right size, so I'm not complaining on that. Yeah, so we'll just show you the scale with that, and yes, I do think that this fits well if you want that. However, just if you're curious, this works great too. This works really, really well. So if you want this Scorpion army, this guy actually does the job better because you get 2 in the same package to have, like, if you want to have that battle scene. So yeah, honestly, there is no reason to get this toy, unless, of course, you are a completionist and you're just getting it for the sake of getting all the toys in your collection. Which, by the way, no shame, nothing wrong. I myself bought it, so there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to let you know, for those that are not sure, curious about this, I don't really like it. I showed you reasons why, and it's up to you to decide if what you see is still fine to get it or not. It's up to you. You let me know in the comments. All right? Well, I wish you all the very best, guys, okay? Take care. Bye.